All right, so we are into the foreground area right now. So I did add more yellows for my foreground area than anything. My shoe, and I'll show you guys this. So in general, my shoe, like this little part of the shoe is it's more of a pink, I think, than anything else. And you can see I added just a little bit. You know how I went over, you can add a little watercolor white to this thing if for some reason you need to lighten this thing up in some spots. But I would definitely do that after this is dry. But in general, yeah, it's got some orange in it and all that. But it is mainly pink. But we are going to start off though because orange is a little bit lighter than that pink in your pack. So we're going to start off, and I may not end up doing this whole tip of the shoe there, but at least you'll get like a general idea. I'm going to start off with the darker areas and kind of move up. And I did leave quite a lot of yellow, and there's actually more white in my actual shoe, like the final product on that little tip part, more than what I have right here. So I would be a bit conservative as you start. And if your shoes are white, you can always add like little reflections of the colors that are in the background. You can change, like you can make this a color. Originally, my shoes that I looked at to draw from, this little part of my shoe is actually black. So there's not a problem with you adding things that are not there. I would encourage you to do that. These little areas, this little checkered area with my shoes, I have reflections and colors that they're not really there. My shoe is just, it's a black and white shoe, but I just decided to make it more interesting by adding some colors to it. And I think when you're trying to get your shoe to be the star of the show, that's definitely what I would try to do, is just introduce some things, make it fun, and just make it bold. Okay, so I have a little bit of that added, and I can always build it up and add a little bit more, but I'm going to, at this point, add some of that fuchsia, some of that pink, whatever that light pink is in the pack. And I'm going to add it on top of that orange. I'm starting in the dark area, and I'm going out and blending it out into my lighter areas. I've got some harsher blacks right here, so it's something to think about as you go through. You probably have some kind of heavier areas and more stylized areas, so you could in spots make your color a little bit heavier and stylize your color. So at this stage, what you've got to do is to decide, like, do I want to start filling in some of these little areas that might be perceived as like a darker spot there. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of skipping around, and I'm not going, berserk or anything, but I am starting to kind of fill in some spots. I'm dotting here because this is more in a little light area. All right, so in the shoe, and I'm not done with the little tip of the shoe, but one of the things too that you've got to decide, because this gets so heavy and so dark, you would assume that there would be something kind of cool. So if you need to pull in a blue right there, by all means, I would definitely do that. If you need to warm up any of this, like I didn't really introduce much orange here, or if you need to pull in some yellow, like if your base tone, if it's starting to kind of fade away or doesn't make sense that, you know, this is kind of yellow here and this is kind of pink right here, or, you know, whatever you need to do to make those decisions. I think that it's up to you at this stage. So I'm pulling in a little bit of blue, not much. So one of the things that I did down here was I did pull in a little bit of blue, although this is in the foreground. It's just so dark. You would assume that there would be something down here that would be a little bit heavier. So let's see, how much time do we have? Okay, 6:24. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to show y'all. So I was going to go back and forth and add certain elements that were in my background into my shoe color, or things that are similar at least to the background. So I thought what would be a really cool spot to do that in would be these little stripes. So I had, you know, put down a base color in certain places, and I'm going to add just a little bit of green in this little area. And it could just be kind of a little touch of green. You could leave some white right there. You could add, let's see here, you could pull in, if you wanted, you know, I've got the actual yellow right here. I could add, like, I wouldn't say in every section, but you can go and, you know, just add what you see. If I'm wanting to pull in like a lime green or something like that. Or if I'm wanting to pull in, say, a purple. Let's see, that would need to be more of a blue. Right there. So, you know, think about some things that you could do just to make your shoe look more interesting. I'm going to here, like, actually add a little bit of my greenish bluish color. I have pulled that into my actual shoe. And I could even do like little reflections and stuff like that where the laces are, if I want to do something like that. I could add like it's kind of a bold color. Let's see, got pink. I could do like an orange or something like that, or I want to do a yellow. Just little accents of different colors might be kind of fun right there. I'm wanting to go for something like that, I could. So, let's see. So really at this stage, you know, it's just your own discretion as to how you want your shoe to stand out. I wouldn't overwork it, but you need to have some like pops of color that are kind of interesting. That makes, you know, you got to make your background and your shoe tie together and make it fun and interesting. All right, I'm going to stop the video and we'll go to another one.